Ahoy! Well, you know, it's that time to get ready to haul and block the boat, bottom paint, get things ready for the season. Now you want to make sure that you're really ready to go once you leave. Now I'm using Total Boat bottom paint. Now I've used that for years, and I usually get about 2 years out of that, maybe a little bit more. And I know this because I've used it a few times. I mean, look at this. This is from 2021 when I did a haul, and it had been a couple of years since I'd hauled before that. So I know, and even last time when I had the divers go down earlier in the year, well, I had them go down late fall and clean things up a little bit. They said the growth on the bottom was minimal. Now I've had this paint on for 2 years. I think it's time to do it though. And one of the neat things too about with Total Boat, look at all you get with this. I mean, this is along with the paint. You get the roller, the pan, the tape, the bodysuit. Makes it really convenient on making sure that you have everything. But some of the other things that you want to consider are, for example, you need to change your zincs. Well, don't depend on the marina having the right size that you need. Most of the time they will, but many times they don't. And last time that I did a short haul, well, they were out of the size that I needed. So they ran to the store and got them, but that just takes time. So I guess the key topic here is get everything ready so that when you get to the boatyard, you get your work and you get it done. I mean, many of the boatyards now are charging $15 to $20 a day that you're on the hard. That can get pretty expensive, especially if you got to be running around getting things. So some of the things that I'm going to bring along are, of course, my sander, a dust mask, safety goggles, scraper, plenty of rags for washing and waxing. Gonna make sure I have the zincs that I need. I only need one, but I want to make sure that I have that ready to go. Oh, and I bring a drop cloth along, kind of move that around on the bottom so as I'm painting, if I drip paint, it's not getting all over the ground. You know, try to be green friendly when you, as much as you possibly can. Even when sanding, now one year I rented a vacuum sander. This year I'm thinking I just need to touch up again, so I'm just going to use my orbital sander, but that's a vacuum sander, but still you're going to get some stuff on the ground, so I'm going to move that tarp around a little bit, make sure I collect everything. Well, and if you're not going to use a whole bodysuit, at least make sure that you have some old clothes and something that you really don't care that much about, because you're eventually going to get bottom paint and bottom paint dust on this thing. Plastic gloves or some kind of gloves. I like to use the disposable gloves for painting and sanding. Make sure I've got an extension cord and an adapter for that, so that I can plug into 110 and then plug the boat in and then work off the boat plug. That way I don't need as much extension cord, hopefully. Water hose. Now I've got some hose, but I know it's probably not going to be enough. I'm going to go by the marina and check and see where they have water spigots as to how much hose I'm going to need. And then when you're getting ready to go, make sure you have your fending poles and extra lines and your fenders so that when you get there, you're not scrambling to get things out, so that you can get a good smooth into the sling, onto the hard, get the work done, and get back in. Oh, another thing, before I go over there, it's going to take me about an hour and a half to get there. I commissioned the engine, and I'll put a link in here. I just did that, so you can take a check on that. But one of the things I forgot to mention in that video is I am going to flush the cooling system. And I'm pretty sure the bottom, especially the prop, is pretty covered because it's been quite a while since I've used the boat. So I'm going to dive down, clean the prop up at least, check the intake on the engine. That wasn't really shooting a lot of water out, so I got a feeling that's probably a little blocked. Clean that up. What I did get is a wetsuit. Not so much for the cold water, although it is going to be cold, but mostly protection from the jellyfish that are in the water, and God only knows what else is in there. So that'll make it a little bit easier to clean the bottom too. Well, that's the basics of getting ready to haul and dry dock for a couple of days. Get the engine ready. Now, you may need a few other things. You could bring a buffer for washing and waxing the boat. Make sure that you have all of the zincs that you need. I can't really stress that enough, especially if you have, the big plates. A lot of times the marinas don't carry those. They carry the ones for the shafts, but not always the plates. Just to make sure that you get everything done as soon as you need to. Or another thing, maybe make a little list of all of the things that you want to check. For example, I want to check my rudder and rudder post. I'm going to check the sea cocks underneath. Of course, you're going to want to go around the boat, tap around, make sure you don't have blistering going on. That's another reason to do a little bit of sanding, check that bottom thoroughly, make sure everything is good and secure. Anyway, that's all there is to it, guys. Happy and safe boating to you, your family, and friends.